Greetings everybody, Shiv here. Alright, so we've got two new cards to review today. They both cost 0 mana and are spells. So let's get right to this, shall we? First up we have Forbidden Flame. Spend all your mana. Deal that much damage to a minion. Okay, so let's talk about the fact that this is technically an X card. By X card, what I mean is a reference to Magic the Gathering cards such as Fireball, Disintegrate, and so on, to where basically you could increase the value of the card by spending more mana on it. Okay, well here you don't really get much of an option other than doing other things first, then playing this, in order to determine what that X value is. Yes, apparently being able to click your mana crystals was just a little too complicated for fucking Hearthstone. Alright, but same basic principle. So, first off, this is not going to be a damage to the face spell. Thank you. Alright. This is going to basically be replacing the role of Flame Cannon. The only difference is where Flame Cannon, you got 4 damage on an RNG. Here you're going to get, well, whatever you got. Alright, so the most obvious choice I see with this is definitely going to be in a Tempo Mage deck. And the reason I say that is, even if it's turn 3 and you play out Flamewaker, this could still proc at least 2 pings. Alright? Yeah, it may not do any damage, but it will at least cause the effect to go off. You can still cast a spell that does 0 damage that'll proc your Flamewaker. Alright. So that's what I'm going to say I see it as. But other than that, it's not a bad spell. At most, it can kill things with 10 health, so you don't have to worry about it possibly killing Ysera. You don't have to worry about it possibly just nuking some other high health minions overly well. But it is definitely one of those things you use to kind of fill up the back end of your curve. Now, as a mage, many times you've got that leftover 2 mana, you just, use it to ping either face or ping down a minion so that you can flame strike the next turn or so on and so on. Here, instead, you can use it to just, maybe even remove a minion altogether that had 2 health left. So, yeah, for that I kind of see a little bit of value in it. But it's definitely going to be one of those interesting sequencing things, which actually is going to raise the skill level of this game just slightly. And I like that. I think that's actually really good for the health of the game. Alright, moving on to the next card, we have Forbidden Shaping! Alright, so you remember Unstable Portal? The card that's going away in this set with Standard? Yeah. Well, here's the new version. And it's for Priest! Yeah, alright, so 0 mana. Spend all your mana summoning a random minion that costs that much. Okay. So, right off the bat, giants are out the fucking window. Alright, but everything else is open and fair game. What gets really interesting is when you look at, like, the least amount and the most amount. Least amount, playing this when you have no mana, you're either going to get a shitty fucking Murloc or a Wisp. Most amount, you're either going to get Varian, Cthulhu, or Deathwing. So, because this is summoning and it's not playing out of the hand, you can kiss those battle cries goodbye. So, Varian and Cthulhu basically are shit pulls. And that's 2/3 of the likelihood. Alright, and Deathwing's battle cry is gone too, so pretty much all you're doing is getting a 12/12 body. Now, this isn't to say that there won't be more 10s coming. I mean, we still got 3 other old gods coming in. They might also be 10 mana, ladies and gentlemen. So, while right now this card may not appear overly good on the back end of your mana, it actually could possibly be, depending on if those old gods are really good. But then it's going to be an RNG crapshoot at 10 mana, alright? Let's say, like, all the old gods are 10 mana. Okay, well, we already know Cthulhu and Varian are going to be bad, so boom, that's 2 right there. Let's say those other 3 are fucking baller, okay? So joining the ranks with Deathwing, boom, so that's 4. So basically, at that point, you're looking at 6 total cards, okay? 6 cards, of which 4 of them will give you a good body on board. Now, if any of them have battle cry, that's going to suck because, well, obviously battle cries don't apply, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, kind of gets a little wonky. The most ideal time to actually probably play this is going to be either turn 8 or turn 9. Just due to the fact that you run higher risks of getting better value cards. Ragnaros, Ysera, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, even at turn 7 has a little bit of value. Though with Dr. Boom going out because of standard, you run the risk of getting some really wonky shit. But also, let us not forget that this is not just class specific. So turn 9, you could be looking at King Crush or the Jiraxis. Sorry, it's true. So yeah, all in all, I think this card is really interesting. I can definitely see some really fun decks popping up because of it, and I can see this RNG possibly swinging a game or two in some rather epic fashion. But I think most of the community is going to write this card off because it's just a little too much of an all or nothing play, and well, that tends to not end very well. The poker players might look at this and go, let's go for it. Those crazy bastards are going to make something with this decking line. All right, let's go for it. Personally, I want to do something with this and Lore Walker Cho and just watch my opponent go, wait, what the fuck? You know? I could possibly have some real fun with that shit. Some real fun. But we'll have to wait and see. All in all, though, I kind of like the card. Its usefulness, though, I'm going to say a little bit less, but I think it's a really cool concept. But its value is kind of really being strangled out by waiting to see what some of the other top-end cards are. I mean, we really need to see what the rest of the old gods are. We really need to see what the other legendaries are, and so on, before we can really assess the value of this card. But all in all, I'm probably going to say that this card's not going to see overly much play, just because of the randomness of it and the possibility of it backfiring magnanimously. Alright? Seriously. This card could definitely screw a lot of people over. Could you imagine playing this on turn 2 and then, you know, just getting a Doomsayer? Hey, that would be great. That'd be great. But you can't bank on that. The consistency is shot to shit, so it is interesting. I do like it for the fact that, you know, there are many times in Priest where you have some bad plays or bad, you know, hands where all you can really do is just hero power your face even if you're at 30. This kind of takes care of that problem, but outside of that, it just kind of feels really shitty. You know, it kind of makes you say, well, wouldn't you just rather have taken something that could have filled in that slot? To some degree, yes, but the fact that you could use this throughout any portion of the curve really makes that kind of a useful tool. It does. But again, it's an all or nothing play. So you really have to consider that, ladies and gentlemen. You really have to consider that. But that's all for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comment section, which card did you like? What are some crazy combinations you see with this? Do you think these cards are good? Do you think they're actually fucking horrible? Let me know down below. Till next time, this is Shiv saying, please like and subscribe, and may RNGesus bless you, and if not, free Cthulhu.